Hey everybody, welcome back for another video. Hope you're all doing great and having a great day as always. So once again, Bitcoin has hit a new record. It hit $4,400 today. I'm thinking of finding a way to just give like an abbreviation at the beginning of videos when it hits a new record, just saying like NR or something like that, just so I can continue on. Because like I said, I don't think this is going to stop. I don't see that. I mean, if you've been looking at the prices of all the coins, everything is kind of out of whack right now. IOTA and Neo have kind of pushed their way into the top 10, and they're gaining a lot of attention, not just in China, but also here as well. A lot of people are asking, what are these coins? How do I get these coins? And when you read around online, a lot of it is just hype. That's not to say, like I said before, that these coins aren't doing something miraculous, but there's something happening in the market right now, and a lot of it is focused heavily on Bitcoin. And as you see, we can see that the other coins kind of aren't doing too well at the moment. Goldman Sachs thinks that at sometime within this month, and this is entirely possible, that the price of Bitcoin will hit 4,800 a coin. That is $4,800 per coin. But they also warned that they think this could be a bubble and that it could pop back down into the 3,000s, which is also a possibility. Part of the problem is that, like I've said before, I give you guys news about what's going on and, et cetera, but no one knows what's happening with these prices right now. A lot of people are simply pushing their money into Bitcoin, thinking that the price will go up forever. I can tell you this is a big mistake. If it does shoot up to 10,000, I am sorry. I apologize in this video. You can go back and I will tell you I am sorry to your face if need be. But this is exactly what I assumed, like I said before, that the price would continue to go up as SegWit got initiated and activated and locked in and stuff like that. But there seems to be a huge run. I think people are just trying their hardest to get it up to 5,000. I don't know what obviously it's a milestone. Obviously it's something to show other people that we made it this high. But there are a lot of people, I've been hearing whispers of people who plan on selling by the time it gets around 5,000 because they assume that the price will go back down. So what ends up usually happening is that when people get too greedy, this is usually when you should be afraid. This is how the saying goes, because if everyone is, everyone's just focusing on Bitcoin right now, and it's the other coins that are happening in China as well. That's one thing. But on our side, as far as what's happening with Bitcoin, I have a whole bunch of friends who are contacting me asking me, should they just, and I say JUST, just invest in Bitcoin. They're talking about taking their money out of other smaller coins. And this is, I'm not sure exactly how long everyone has been trading, buying or selling cryptocurrencies. But if you look back at the data, if you look back at the other graphs and stuff like that, whenever there's too much hype into one coin, they kind of literally siphon the money from other coins. And then eventually when, the hype has gone too far, gone on too long, and people get tired of it, they will eventually see that the other coins are then undervalued. And this is when the other bigger coin that was being pushed up will eventually start to deflate. Not pop, more so deflate. Like I said, Bitcoin will never ever hit $1 ever again. So all I can kind of say is just a word of advice. Don't be afraid of setting aside money to get into smaller coins as the weeks and months go on, because these things are going down. Everyone is noticing that, Ethereum is down, Ripple's down, Litecoin's down. Litecoin has been pushed out of, the current spot where it was before. So this is kind of a huge issue right now. That's not to say that you should not get into Bitcoin. I wholeheartedly believe that it will eventually go higher and higher, especially as Bitcoin is constantly destroyed every single year. The mining difficulty is continuously going up and more people are buying and hoarding this. I have a story about that a bit later on, but something is happening right now. I don't know if the prices, I don't think they're being manipulated, but like I said before, there are people on exchanges who have millions of dollars just on these exchanges. They can set up buy orders. I want to buy 5 million worth of Bitcoin. And when people see that a big player like this is wanting to buy this amount, all the other people start buying up the smaller amounts, assuming that this person knows something that everyone else doesn't. No one knows anything about these coins. People can only control the market with the money that they already have. No one is a genie. No one knows what the future will hold, but people can obviously control these things. So this is an article. I saw this online a little while ago, and this is part of what I was saying. I agree with this 100%. So there are a lot of analysts who keep saying that, Bitcoin will eventually hit 5,000. At this point, it's definitely when it will happen, not if it will ever happen. And they believe that altcoins could potentially lose 20% of their value as this happens. We've already seen many of the bigger coins are the ones that I've been talking about. They've fallen by 4 to 5% over the last couple of days, or even, days after days. So 20% is definitely believable, because as these other things, there's so many, it's crazy how many people, it's at least 5 people have been contacting me the last couple of days, constantly asking me, should they take all their money out of Ripple, take all their money out of Litecoin, take all their money out of it. Don't ever sell your Ethereum. I'm just going to say that I love Ethereum. Please do research on them before you think about selling anything, but I think Ethereum has a very, very bright future. Just asking me if they should sell all these coins and pump them directly into Bitcoin. And I'm like, you guys aren't the only one who has this idea. There are millions of other people right now who are asking the same exact question, and maybe half of them are probably doing that. And when you push too much money into it, when the price hits around 5,000, it's going to cause a fear that we haven't seen before, and people may start dramatically panic selling. I've been seeing this on forums, on websites, like all over the place. A lot of people are becoming obsessed with Bitcoin at the moment because they think it is unbeatable. I've told you guys times and times again. Like, I mean, take my advice. Like, I've never met any of you. I mean, I try my hardest to help you guys to make money in the long run and what have you. But like I said, I do not know everything. There are a lot of people who are becoming very obsessed with Bitcoin, and they think that it is the only coin that is going to make it in the future. And if you have heard what I've said before about the other coins and the other speed of the other coins, even just how quick Litecoin is compared to Bitcoin, and Ripple and IOTA compared to Bitcoin. Bitcoin is not fast. It is very slow. It is very clunky. It takes years for things to happen on its network. And like I said, a lot of people are getting very, very greedy, and they're pumping tons of money into this, believing that the price of Bitcoin will never go down, and that is a mistake. I have been dealing with cryptocurrencies for a long time, and I've seen other little hype periods like this before. That's not to say that Bitcoin will hit 5,000 and then settle down to 4,300. But don't make the mistake of believing that the price will only continue to go up forever and ever. There is nothing in the history of anything that we have ever dealt with in economics and money and anything that has continuously gone up in value forever. There is nothing that will ever do this either. So I just wanted to, kind of say that. There is a guy named Ari Paul, ARIPAUL. His Twitter is at Ari David Paul. So at ARIDAVIDPAUL. I believe, yeah, that is his Twitter handle. I do not know him. I'm not affiliated with him, but he thinks that the Bitcoin volume could double within the next 3 months if this kind of, thing continues. I don't know what the prices will be or what the price, like what anything is going to, happen in the near future, but I expect that we're going to see a crazy market as we head towards December and November. It's very exciting to watch, but it's also one of those moments where you're kind of like biting your fingernails and like, how much longer can this really go on with these crazy price jumps and swings. So I don't know if you guys have heard, this is kind of crazy. HBO was hacked. There was something about this as well, I think on another channel, but it wasn't as severe as this one. So apparently the hackers, when you look at the actual file of the thing that said, how much the hackers wanted, et cetera, they tried to black it out so that people couldn't see it, but it's fairly obvious if you read through the entire thing. So the hackers apparently asked HBO for $6 to $7 million, stating that they apparently, it's not funny, stating that they apparently hack large corporations or companies 2 times a year. They only do this, so one time one part of the year, another time another part of the year, and it makes them annually between $12 to $15 million. When you check the thing, that this is what I was saying, you can tell they were saying how much exactly they wanted from HBO. It says in the thing that apparently, they make between $12 to $15 million a year, and they are asking HBO to pay half their year's salary. They say that they don't do this with ill intentions. They're just trying to make money, as most of us are, but this is a little extreme. They say that they just want the money and then they'll leave them alone. they stole the files for it was Game of Thrones, I think Ballers, whatever other shows. I don't watch HBO. They like the larger shows that they have, they stole the files for them. So this is why I think last week or the week before there was an episode of Game of Thrones that was leaked, if anyone saw that online. But they also apparently stole a bunch of like future contracts that they have coming up, or things that they have with other companies that are just meant for, internal purposes. They have all this information, and they said, you need to give us $6 to $7 million in Bitcoin, and we'll kind of make this all go away. They only gave HBO 3 days to do this, but HBO is like, we don't, I'm sure they obviously don't want to, but apparently they said that they do not have $6 to $7 million in Bitcoin just lying around. So they offered the hackers $250,000 for a week extension. The issue is that if you read further, they say this is non-negotiable, and they want their money. So like I always said before, I love sci-fi movies. I love things about the future. I love dystopian movies especially, and we're definitely in the future. When a cable network gets hacked and they're told to pay $6.7 million in a digital currency that's only 8 years old, that's kind of crazy. I don't know if you, that's absolutely insane when I read this. But part of me wonders what damage they could actually do with this information. I understand, leaking the shows would eventually come out at a certain point anyway. But it makes me wonder what kind of internal documents that they actually have. Like, how damaging could these things be that, HBO is actually struggling to get this money together in Bitcoin? I mean, it kind of is what it is. This is, this has been happening for a while now. Like, we're the entire hacking community, it's only going to get worse as we go along, especially as everything eventually becomes connected. Like, everything that I'm talking to you guys through is all digital. Everything that I use is digital. All of our phones, the internet. If Elon Musk, throws 10,000 satellites into the sky, eventually everything can be hacked. But when it happens, it's not the nicest thing in the entire world. So it's a relatively slow day. Nearly all the news was just about people talking about Bitcoin is going to be 15,000 by December. Bitcoin is going to be 22,000 by next March. And I didn't feel comfortable giving you guys that news because it's just a lot of fluff. And I mean, 4,800 in the next couple of weeks is definitely believable. But if we hit 22,000 by December, you need to run for the hills and get your money out of Bitcoin, because that is a huge, gigantimous bubble. So a pretty normal day. Not many things have been actually going on with any of the major coins, except for that Bitcoin is taking the value from other coins around it. But like I said, don't lose hope. That we've seen this before. Nothing can ever go up forever. Eventually, the other smaller coins that I am very bullish on will eventually go back up. There's not a reason for the other projects to kind of simply stop and take their hats off and go, okay, guys, we're completely done. Bitcoin's almost at 5,000. Let's just completely stop what we're doing. That's not going to happen. These things will continue. As always, guys, make sure to do your own research. Check and see what is out there. There's no reason that you should not be making money from all this. I hope you guys are all very rich in the very near future. And yeah, I'll talk to you guys soon. Enjoy your day. And yeah, see you guys later. Bye. Hey everyone, thank you very much again for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you guys would like to help me and the channel, there are ways to do so in the description below. Thank you very much, and talk to you guys soon.